Hey, g'day all. Hey, welcome to Napier Port. I'm Simon Osmond, the Safety and Emergency Management Advisor. Today Napier Port's undertaking a port-wide earthquake and tsunami evacuation drill. If you join me, we're going to come into the boardroom, which is our emergency operations centre, so follow me. All along the pathway to escape evacuation route. So the railway gate's been 1,200 hours. So the port's got an emergency warning system, which is basically PA system across the whole port. So we can actually provide early notification and instructions to our port family in an emergency. So we've got 5 tones, starting with our test, and we've got an advisory, a watch and act, a warning, and then a all clear return to work. So today we're going to use 4 of those, and we're going to kick it off quite shortly. So we've got technology here where we can actually look at all the cameras across the port. So if we do have a port-wide emergency, we can scan through. What you can hear now is our advisory, so it's letting the port family know that something's happening.
For exercise only, the earthquake drill has begun, and we all need to drop, cover and hold on until the warning tone sounds. For exercise only. For exercise only, people are to immediately evacuate their work areas and move up to the tsunami safe location at the Bluff Hill Lookout. For exercise only.
We're part of the exercise control team, so we're just sweeping, but the wardens have actually gone out. So their job today, the floor and area wardens, is to make sure there's no one left behind and to move out to the safe assembly area, which is at the tsunami gate, and we're heading up to the tsunami safe assembly point on Bluff Hill. So for the purposes of this exercise, you'll see here, so we can help maintain the health order. Our evacuees, which is made up of the wider port family, are being issued with hand sanitizer, and they're also putting face shields on. We've adopted the Blue Line project. We'll have blue lines around all the wharfs at the ports. So if we have a near source earthquake, long and strong get gone process, members of the public and the port community will be able to make their way to the blue lines to our tsunami gates. So we've basically got 5 exit points, which all lead up to the top of the hill. So we are blessed we've got a safe assembly area for port workers and users. So for our Thames 1 and 2 family, basically they'll make their way by motor vehicle today out of both Thames 1 and 2 depots down the main evacuation route. They'll head up around Corona Bay, up onto Hospital Hill. Then in a real event, they'll be on foot and they'll either make their way up to Hospital Hill or out to Priority Hill. For mariners on board vessels inside the port, once the vessels have been secured, they can make their way along the blue lines up onto the tsunami safe assembly point on Bluff Hill. If they're outside the harbour, they make their way up to 12 nautical miles, which is about 30 fathoms. So where we are, team, we've just arrived at Sturms Gully. The actual gully is 55 metres, so the Ministry of Civil Defence, Hawke's Bay Civil Defence Emergency Management Group, East Coast Lab recommend for a tsunami generated local to the coast, we need to evacuate the red zone, which is the fringe of the harbour, as it were, for the port, but for us, we need to get to at least 35 metres. So this is a safe zone, and you'll see the paddock behind us, but the problem we have is when a tsunami comes, they travel at 900 kilometres an hour in the open sea, and when they get close to shore, they slow down to about 30 kilometres an hour, and then it's not a wave, it's a tidal surge, so we get volume, and what they're predicting is 8 to 13 metres. So the problem we got here is that water will funnel up creeks, up valleys like behind us here, and so the water will actually come to the top of the gully. So what we're recommending to the port family and our local residents is we need to get to the top of the bluff, which is over 100 metres or thereabouts. Based on science, they tell us if the Hikurangi Trench was to let go and we would have a locally generated tsunami, it could be here at the port into Hawke's Bay in under 20 minutes. So in essence, with the evacuation process we've embellished today, most of our port family could be off the port in under 10 minutes to get to altitude. So today we've probably got 300 plus people off the port in about 10 minutes, which is pretty cool. Today we're practicing our earthquake and tsunami evacuation drill to keep the port family safe. But it's a great opportunity for you to think about your own family whānau at home. So our comms team are going to put out a communication in due course that will actually help people. Some of that information will come from CDEM, Civil Defence Emergency Management Group here in Hawke's Bay. So it's about being prepared at home. So if you're at work and we were to have a catastrophic earthquake and subsequent tsunami, what checks have you put in place for your family? Does your family know how to contact their neighbours? Do you have a bug-out kit? So you need to have food and provisions for up to 72 hours. So when you get home tonight, in the back of your telephone book, the yellow pages, there's information. CDEM or Hawke's Bay Civil Defence Emergency Management Group on their webpage. They've got some awesome resources, so it's time to get prepared. Our Port family, they're registering at the top of the hill. So we're using a smart app, so all our Port users, staff and our wider family can swipe in so we can account for people. Normally we'd stay here for up to 24 hours, 72 hours, depending on the event. It was assistance from CDEM. But today, our Port family, after they've had a drink, are making their way back down the hill back to the Port. So what I'm doing now is I'm just checking our Port family. We've left no one behind.
Yeah, 1 2's all clear. No one walking around. Yeah, everything clear on my side. Jude 1, all clear.
On behalf of Napier Port, we'd like to thank you for participating today. As you can see, the port's clear of all evacuees. It's the first time in 100+ years Napier Port has actually done this. So I'd like to take the opportunity to not only thank the Port family, so that's the ISOs, the C3s, the Higgins, our own workshops, the PCB, SCS, and all those I haven't mentioned. Also specifically the Salvation Army who have volunteered to help us today with catering, and the Red Cross Emergency Response Team from Hawke's Bay that have turned out in a voluntary capacity to protect our Port people. And last but not least, on behalf of the Chairman of the Board and Todd Dawson, the CE, would like to thank everybody for the participation today, and hopefully you've got the long message. So if there's a long and strong earthquake and you're near the coastal region, which is the red zone, you get gone and make your way to Napier Bluff Hill. If you're coming from our Thames Street 1 and 2 depots, same process. If it's long and strong, get gone. You either go to Hospital Hill or out to Priority. So once again, thank you for coming, and come and join us for some kai and some water.